Hey everyone, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. So today I wanted to speak about redemption, and we are living in unbelievable times. The Lubavitcher Rebbe said actually all we have to do is open up our eyes and see what's going on in the world around us. And the word is open up our eyes, and open up our eyes and actually see that we're living in unbelievable times. We're living in what he called Mashiach times, in times of that the world is coming to its higher plateau of what it's meant to be. And so the idea is that Mashiach times that we are right now in is really within our choice. And so I'd like to share with you a couple of ideas on this, and that is what the Maharal of Prague says. The great Maharal of Prague says that the whole difference between exile, which means Golah, or spelled Golah, and Geula, and redemption is one small letter, and that is the letter Aleph. So Golah, exile, being like a rolling stone, right? Or Geula, or being in redemption, is the letter Aleph. And so the whole difference between exile and the opposite, being where we're meant to be, is just awakening that letter Aleph. What does that mean? So what is essentially redemption? So for a stone, okay, and there's a lot of stones around here over here in Tzfat that we're walking through, freedom for a stone, or the inanimate aspect of creation, is just its beingness, right? It's just it being is doing its job. And then you go a little higher, you evolve to the trees. So for them to exist, so then they need to grow, they need to have place to move, to kind of blossom. And if you try to impose the freedom of the tree, of what the tree needs, by the rock, what the freedom for the rock is, or the inanimate, it's not going to work. And if we go a tier higher to the animal kingdom, so for the animal kingdom to be free, they actually need to do what? They need to move around. They need to eat, sleep, mate, right? Do all those things. That is their freedom. And it's not enough for them to have like the tree-like freedom. And now for a human to be free, so for us to be free, essentially, we need to evolve with our mind. We need to utilize our mind. And I'm reminded of what Abraham Maslow says, that in his hierarchy of needs, so the hierarchy of needs of a man starts off with the basic needs of just existence, right? And then the emotional needs, and then the financial needs, etc. Going all the way up. At the end of his life, he wrote there's something which is called the self-actualized individual, self-actualized man. Self-actualized man means that someone thinks about beyond their existence, beyond what they're about, and they're able to utilize their mind to now contemplate the greatness of the world. And all scientific discoveries, mathematical, etc., all came from this quest of man to now become higher than their limited, finite existence. And so freedom really depends on who the person is, or what tier of existence we're talking about. So the freedom of man is really the freedom of our mind. It's the freedom to really exist and to be able to choose correctly. And here I'd like to share with you another one of a very great thinker, Viktor Frankl, that he writes in Man's Search for Meaning. He writes that actually the only thing that we really have control over is our reaction to things. So, and he studied Holocaust, not just survivors, but he was in the Holocaust, and he saw that people that came in from amazing families, amazing backgrounds, they completely perished. Why? Because it was their reaction. While he saw people that perhaps didn't come from such illustrious backgrounds, but they survived the Holocaust. Why? Because they had the great way of looking at things. They looked at things differently. And I'm also reminded of another great young girl over there in the Holocaust, Anne Frank, that she writes, she says that I still believe that the world is good, innately good. And so essentially to be able, that little aleph that we're talking about at the beginning, the difference between geula and gola, is the ability to instill within our minds the looking at the cup half empty or half full, to look at someone and find their negativity, or look at someone and find their good points, to look at a situation that we're stuck in, to look at the difficulty of that situation, or to look at the opportunity of the situation. Somebody could be sitting in traffic and it's like absolutely terrible, right? Nobody really likes traffic, I mean, for sure. But then you have a choice of either hating it and struggling with it, or accepting it, and really at the end of the day, trying to find out, what is this situation for? Why am I stuck in traffic? Maybe I could call someone, maybe I could think of a thought, maybe I could just practice more acceptance of the moment. And so it's the reaction, and that is that letter Aleph. So according to the Zohar, the letter Aleph is a composite of a letter Yud on top and a Yud on the bottom and a Vav, which means that the Yud on top is the Chokhmah. It's basically the intelligence. So we could be incredibly intellectual, but not apply things. And the Yud on the bottom is Bina, is application, is taking the understanding. And then the Vav is connecting the two together, which essentially is Da'at, is really consciousness, is merging those two aspects, and be essentially mindful and be in control of our own minds, and to be able to really choose the reactions that we want to have, and not just by default. Because if we're carrying about our lives by default because our parents did those things, or because of, that's just the way I'm wired, whatever, so then we're really not free, are we? We're really not free because we're following our inclinations. The way to really be free is to be able to really utilize that highest part of who we are, to be able to employ that, and to really utilize that element of freedom, which is really in our minds. So our ability to be free, and hopefully, and we wish that everyone should be free on all levels, because it's not enough just to be free in your mind. We want to be free also in every aspect of our existence. But to be free does not just mean to be affluent and to just have things and to own stuff and to just accumulate and to wait for that great pension and whatnot. To be free means to be actively free with your mind and all things that you do. So that is the whole difference between exile, Gola, and Geula. It's one little letter. It's that letter Aleph, and we have to open up our eyes. As the Rebbe said, yesterday was his yahrzeit, and open up our eyes means to actually see that the world around us is really coming to that place. And first and foremost, we have to come to that place within ourselves. And the more that we come to that place within ourselves as individuals, and we share that, and we make this change together, and we really spread that change all over, so then the more enlightened individuals, the more people are awakening to that change, the more the world is going to come to that change on a physical level. And so, last point over here, but basically I don't watch the news too much, and it's not such a good idea to overwatch the news for sure, but really we have to put our glasses on correctly, and there's so many amazing things that are happening in the world around us. We could look at the negativity, or we could look at the positivity, and it's all just a matter of perspective. What's our perspective? And to see that the world is really ready. The good news is ready to come out to light, and I'm looking super forward to that. I can't wait, and I'm sure you can't wait either. And so I'd like to wish you many blessings. Maybe put on the right glasses, the right lenses, and wish a lot of people a lot of blessings. A lot of blessings over here. I don't know this dude, but we're just loving each other, because it's all perspective. Make someone smile. Achon? That's it. Okay. Thank you, my man. You too. Okay. Blessings, everyone, and lots of love and light.